And that was
the Loveland Frog.
disgusting.
He came to record with us today.
I love it. And this is Jen.
This is Becky.
This is too close to home. You vomiting yet?
A little bit.
A little bit.
But, another day.
Jimmy was so gracefully coming over here and did our frog for us right into my mic.
Right into her mic and face.
Spit
and heart.
all on my little pop filter thing.
Pop socket.
Just rude.
So rude. So today we're going to ease your listening ears with a little mind bleach here of a fun, lovable cryptid. And he's quite famous. I had never heard of him. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Loveland Frog. He is from the great state of Ohio.
Oh, what a Buckeye state.
He is a very famous cryptid named after Loveland, the city of Loveland. He's so beloved that he has his own annual race. He is the Loveland City mascot, and he has an annual summer camp.
A fucking camp?
A fucking camp. So get on his level.
That's how you know you really made it in life. They name them buildings and camps after you, okay?
and races.
Well, maybe not the camp, like all camps. Like, sorry, we're not too far removed from the Germans. See, always happening.
Always.
What does my brain do? Let's make it a bummer.
I was going to say, I'm trying to bring us up here. I don't need you not to bring us back down.
I'm just naturally a bummer.
And I'm just here to say, if you don't love and rep your state, city, or local cryptid the way Ohio does, then I'm not here for you, and I can't respect you in the way that I now respect the Ohioans.
Exactly.
Put some respect on it.
Put on that Buckeye.
Yes. Good for them. I like the way they're inclusive.
Very.
And,
let's just take this, and we're really going to put that up there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, we love everybody, no matter.
Including this frog.
Exactly. Thank you, Ohio, for setting a tone for our nation. We need more love.
Some people could learn a thing or two.
So, what is this creature? What is he known for? Where has he been seen? And why is he so beloved? Well, in Ohio folklore, the Loveland Frog, also known as the Loveland Frogman or Loveland Lizard, is a legendary humanoid frog allegedly first spotted in Loveland, Ohio. The Loveland Frog is similar to many cryptids who derive their name from the area they inhabit, Loveland, Ohio. And again, I like to paint you all a picture so you can get a visual. So as I tell the story, and if you're like me, when I read a book, I envision the characters, right? Mm-hmm. And so sometimes that's why I'm disappointed when I see the movie afterwards, because I'm like, that is not what I made up in my mind.
Exactly. I've done the same thing.
Nothing like I thought.
That or if they pronounce the names differently. I'm like, whoa. That's not how I pronounced it in my brain.
Exactly.
And that was facts.
Instead of being disappointed in myself, I'm disappointed in them.
They should have known better.
They should have invited me in on the Zoom meeting on pronunciations and casting.
As a reader.
Yes.
It's arguably the most important role.
I bought a book, so I deserve to have
I am invested.
That's right. So, what does he look like? I've decided to assign.
Get your canvas out, guys.
That's
your
right.
brain canvas. Get your little happy brushes and your beautiful paints, tempera if you like, whatever. Maybe oil pastels.
Yeah.
And you get ready for this picture.
Okay.
That she's about to paint.
Thanks for setting it up so calmly. I feel serene. So, he is bipedal. If you don't know what bipedal is, it means you walk on two legs. This would make them the only...
Oh, I just thought that meant he liked boys and girls. Just kidding. Low-hanging fruit.
Again, with the dark.
It's so dark.
All the time. Just,
This is why I only have one friend.
When you die and I go up to talk about you, instead of saying she lit up every room she walked into, I'm going to say she was like a dark cloud in every room she walked into.
I knew how to bring it down.
She came in and she spread the sickness.
Every day.
And I think you'd be proud.
And if she was anything, she was consistent about it. It's the only consistent thing in her life.
Oh. Besides her coffees that Jimmy brings her.
Exactly.
That's consistent too.
Delicious.
So he's the only bipedal frog. He has the typical leathery skin, as well as webbed hands and feet. The creatures have a frog-like head with wrinkly skin on top, and they stand roughly 4 feet tall. So, if you will, just a tall frog that walks on 2 feet.
I mean, that's what people say about me.
Wears a little top hat and a cane.
Well, not bad.
Just kidding.
Like the cartoon. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime now.
Just trying to make sure y'all have a visual.
I like that. What's the name of that one from the Looney Tunes? Mr. Toad or something?
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing on Loveland, okay?
Nothing. He ain't got no race. He ain't got no camp.
Damn sure don't.
So where does the Loveland Frog live, you ask? He resides in Loveland, Ohio, obviously. Well, like a typical frog, the creature lives in a temperate forest and is able to survive the cool winters of the region without having to hibernate. According to the City of Loveland website, he can be seen in many places. Like a true Loveland resident, he loves the many adventures one can have around town. The frog
at the Costco? Is he going for the hot dog and Pepsi special?
The frog's always up for a bike ride along the Little Miami Scenic Bike Trail, lounging at the Loveland Park, or paddling down the river. Growing up in Loveland, the frog knows the best spots for outdoor adventures, food and drink, and one-of-a-kind shopping. The frog is often seen around town, loving life. Loving life, Loveland, that is.
Oh, I see what they did there. I love this. They saw the opportunities and they said, fucking run with it.
That's exactly what they did.
You know what people love? A cryptid.
Missed opportunity? Not for us.
Not today. Not for us.
Fun fact, the frogman apparently has the physical ability to use sticks like tools. They can also use these sticks to emit sparks, like a wand.
A fucking magic frog?
This means that the frog could have the ability to control electricity in some way. And all I'm here to say is a frog with Harry Potter vibes. I'm here for it.
I'm absolutely here for it. What do you think they would be? I think it would be too telling to put them in Slytherin.
I feel like Hufflepuff for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
He had the Puff vibes just because he has a camp, okay?
Just because. And I'm just here to say that so far, he sounds like an absolute delight.
Absolute delight. Just like us.
Just like us. Now that we feel we have gotten to know him and we feel like we have a clear visual, now we can really feel like we are present for the sightings. So let me tell you about those. These amphibious anomalies have shocked and terrified businessmen, farmers, and police officers and will remain one of the most intriguing cryptozoological mysteries in the United States.
Period.
And I, for one, am shocked that I only recently discovered him. When I was in cryptozoology school, they never taught us about him.
And you are, because you are wearing your doctorate of cryptozoology, as I see, and I see no lies. It's called facts on facts on facts.
My shirt says
Doctor
of cryptozoology.
And I've known you to lie.
Exactly.
Never.
Who needs a certificate from a certified school?
Bullshit. That's not what real cryptozoologists do. We're out in the field hanging out with the Loveland Frog. As is our way. You know who believes in us? Bigfoot.
You know who else believes in us? The Loveland Frog.
You're damn right.
Because I believe in him and he believes in me.
We belong together.
That's right.
Mariah Carey just came in my brain.
So the story of these unique creatures begins in May of 1955.
Doesn't it always?
Imagine it, if you will. A lonely stretch of road that runs along the Miami River in Claremont County, just on the outskirts of a small town known as Loveland, Ohio. At approximately 3:30 a.m., a businessman named Robert Honeycutt, I'm using air bunnies there, claimed to have witnessed 3 bipedal, quasi-reptilian entities congregating by the side of the road. This man pulled his car to the curb and observed these creatures for what he estimated to be about 3 minutes. First of all, if it's 3:30 in the morning and I'm driving home, I used to work night shift. I'd have to leave early sometimes. I had a little doctor's appointment, wanted to get a little rest before I went. Mm-hmm. If I was driving home at 3:30, especially in Houston, and I saw 3 strange, what appeared to be giant man-sized frogs standing on the side of the road, the last motherfucking thing I'm going to do is pull over.
No.
And stare at them. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to try not to make eye contact.
I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I accidentally stabbed myself with something. And I am tripping fucking balls.
I'm going to be like, I was a lot tireder than I thought. And I'm going to pray like a son of a bitch that this is not the time I get a flat tire.
Please, God.
Let me just get out of eyesight of them, and then my tire can go flat if it needs.
My brain just went back to Men in Black. I just thought about the little creatures that are in the office drinking coffee.
Yes. Yes.
Just fucking chilling, walking down fucking I-45, doing their thing, 3:30 in the morning, you know?
They wouldn't expect nobody to be out.
It's living that slab life, you know?
So as he observes them for these 3 minutes, during the time he noticed that these strange beings stood between 3 and 4 feet tall, were covered in gray leathery skin, and had webbed hands and feet. Their most distinguishing characteristic, however, was their distinctly frog-like heads, which the man claimed bore deep wrinkles where their hair should have been. Just as the man was about to steal away into the night, one of the creatures suddenly held what witnesses could only describe as a wand above his head. The anonymous source, because Robert Honeycutt is not his real name.
I can imagine he just sit there and be like, hold on, we were about to leave, but look, they fisted to pull out the wand, and shit's fisting to go down. Some Merlin justice, what it looks like.
And I'm more scared of what that wand can do than what a gun
what a frog can do.
The anonymous source further claims that sparks spewed out at the end of the device. He left post haste, a.k.a. old Robbie was not about to fuck around and find out.
Nope. He shagged ass.
And I'm going to say, I would probably run with old Robbie. But my girl Jen here, she would 100%, without a doubt, ask to play with the wand.
Yeah, like, can I play with your wand? Can I?
What
can
does
I touch
it? Does it grant wishes? Can I cast spells on people?
Does it work in revenge? Because I have some motherfuckers on my list.
Does it cure tummy issues? What do we work with here?
Does it bake yachts? That's the most important question.
Does it require a spell book? Or can I just bippity boppity boo?
Can I just do the Disney Channel commercial thing where you're just looking around in the air and then just do what I wanted to do?
And all I could imagine when he was talking about sparks flying at the top was those Roman candles.
Oh, yeah.
4th of July.
What if that's what it was? And they thought it was a wand and it's just delinquent frogs throwing out Roman candles when it's burn season.
3 kids in Halloween costumes lighting off some Roman candles. But at 3:30 in the morning, I'm guessing he was probably a little inebriated.
Well, they have frog heads. Do they have hydrocephaly?
Thus begins the bizarre legend of the Loveland Frogman. This tale would be fun enough alone, and honestly, a wand shooting sparks, I'm already hooked. But this is just one of the wonderful sightings of one of the funniest cryptids. The 2 most significant encounters in this case, and indeed 2 of the most significant encounters in the history of cryptozoology, were yet to come. At about 1 a.m. on March 3rd, 1972, about 17 years after the first sighting, a police officer, who chose to remain anonymous, was traveling along Riverside Road heading towards Loveland when he saw something that would change his life forever. The officer claimed he was driving slowly due to a substantial amount of ice on the road when he saw what looked like a dog on the curb. Suddenly, the animal darted in front of his cruiser, forcing the officer to slam on the brakes in order to avoid a potential collision with the creature. Once the police cruiser came to a halt...
They always be darn out in front of you, ain't it?
Always.
That's how all horror movies start, okay?
Yep. Once he avoided the potential collision and the cruiser came to a halt, its headlights fell upon the prone animal. At this point, the officer described something that seemed literally too bizarre to be true. In the span of seconds, this crouched, frog-like creature stood up on 2 legs, stared back at the policeman, then scrambled over the guardrail, scurried down the embankment, finally disappearing into the Ohio River.
My homie was sitting there like, did I have a stroke? Does it smell like burnt toast out here? I don't remember what burnt toast smells like. I think this is it, though. Because I don't know if that was really a fucking human or a frog or what.
Did I just shat my pants? The officer in question described the creature as 3 to 4 feet tall.
Everybody loves a short king, you know what I mean?
That's right. Weighing approximately 50 to 75 pounds. He also claimed its skin had a leathery texture and that the animal's features resembled those of a frog or a lizard. Another officer investigated the scene later that evening. He saw no sign of the creature, but reported that there were distinct scratch marks on the guardrail where the animal reportedly crossed. And I'm just saying, I don't know about you, but I have never known the police to lie.
Never.
Not once.
Never. Not once.
Never. The second sighting occurred 2 weeks later when police officer Mark Matthews had an encounter of his own. According to the report, Officer Matthews, while driving into Loveland, spotted what he believed to be an injured animal lying on the pavement. Matthews climbed out of his cruiser with the intention of removing the carcass from the already ice-slicked road, when the creature abruptly lurched upwards into a crouched position.
I just thought of him like he's Phantom of the Opera frog now. Lurch.
Taken aback by the frogman's reptilian appearance, Matthews unholstered his revolver and took a shot at the creature, which then proceeded to hobble over to the side of the road, step over the guardrail, all while keeping a watchful eye on the trigger-happy officer. Matthews' frogman matched the first officer's description down to the last detail, with the exception of a tail, which was absent in earlier reports. In the years after his sighting, Officer Matthews has recanted some of his tale. He now claims that the animal in question was nothing more than a large reptile which escaped from its owner.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but large reptiles of 3 to 4 feet in height don't just walk around bipedally.
Okay? They do not. I haven't seen one yet.
No, I've seen alligators.
I have.
But not like that. Mm-mm. And they don't.
They never got up.
They don't stood on 2 legs and jump over things either.
Like Lyle the crocodile and sang a song with me and hung out.
Makes me think of like the alligators. Remember that movie Fantasia from Disney?
Yes.
The alligators in that, and they've got the cloaks and the hat with the feather in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope, they're not like
that. And if I saw that, I wouldn't be like, did Bob's alligator get out again?
Damn it, Bob!
Because first of all, Bob, can I buy him? He further insists that the only reason he shot at the creature was to help confirm a fellow officer's story. A story which was, of course, being met with predictable skepticism by their superiors.
Rude. First of all.
Now, whether or not Matthew's change of heart was inspired by the ridicule of the fellow officers,
maybe I didn't see nothing,
faded memory of an event which happened 30 years removed, the fact remains that his own testimony counterindicates his later retraction. And I'm absolutely positive, without a shadow of a doubt, that there were plenty of fun nicknames and ridicule for him for the years as well. Those officers. Because, see, the other officer wanted to be anonymous. He did it right.
Exactly, is what he should have done. And this motherfucker probably got like frog costumes and all sorts of shit happened to his fucking
probably
locker,
every time
patrol vehicle.
So then he was probably like, okay, look, I just made it up. Would everybody fucking stop already?
Like, you fucking for real. Leave me alone. This is bullying, okay?
And this was the time when bullying was okay.
Yeah. That was like a fact, probably favored.
They're like, that's just boys being boys.
Oh, boys being boys.
In a 2001 email interview, Officer Matthews, now retired, explained that the incident was habitually blown out of proportion. He stated that...
Guys, quit blowing my things out of proportion.
For fuck's sakes, it's been 30 years. Stop already.
Like, seriously, y'all. It's not funny anymore. It's not funny.
It stopped being funny 30 years ago. He stated that it was and is no monster. It was not leathery or had wet matted fur, which I don't even know where that came from. It was not 3 to 5 feet tall. It did not stand erect. The animal I saw was obviously some type of lizard that someone had as a pet and either got too large for its aquarium and escaped by accident, or they simply got tired of it.
I thought you were going to say too big for his britches.
That too.
That lizard got too big for his britches, be jumping around, scare police officers like that.
He certainly was too big for his britches.
It's human skin britches?
He said it was less than 3 feet in length, ran across the road, was probably blinded by my headlights. It presented no aggressive action. Matthews attempted to shoot the creature in order to back up.
Okay, then why are you trying to shoot at it then?
I know,
I'm not being aggressive. So what are you going to do if Bigfoot walked out in front of you? You want to shoot him too?
Are you admitting to police brutality, sir? So which one is it? There was a cryptid or you're a brutal police officer?
Exactly. You just got to start shooting.
Pick your
poison. Shoot
poison.
first, ask questions later. I don't think that's how that works, sir. That's not justice.
He said he only shot in order to back up the account of his partner's sightings a few nights prior, but the lizard escaped, most likely to die from its injury or from the bitter freezing cold.
Cruel.
A frogman was spotted in mid-August of 2016 by Sam Jacobs and his girlfriend while they were playing Pokemon Go.
Oh, did you? I wonder how excited they got though. Like, am I tripping balls, or is there really a Pokemon in front of me? I don't know if I saw this one. I don't think Ash caught this one.
I didn't think we were really gonna find a Pokemon.
Like, this is for real, for real.
They spotted him in Cincinnati in mid-August near Congregation Beth Adam Synagogue on Loveland Madeira Road. According to an interview with Jacobs by WLWT5, he said he had crossed train tracks to the banks of Lake Isabel where he spotted something strange. We saw a huge frog near the water. Not in the game. This was an actual giant frog, Jacobs told WLWT. Then the thing stood up and walked on its hind legs. I realize this sounds crazy, but I swear on my grandmother's grave, this is the truth.
I don't know why people. Sorry, this is absolutely has nothing to do with the frog. Why do people swear on graves and stuff? Listen, your grandmama is. You've done sworn on her for everything, and she roll it and roll it and roll it like crazy. Say stop it.
There's one thing I know: when they say "not on my mama,"
not on my mama, they
doesn't
lying.
mean shit. Lying. Jacobs claimed the frog stood 4 feet tall, sending dark photos of the creature to support his claim. Jacobs said he doesn't know what to think of the sighting. Not sure if it was the frogman or just a giant frog, he said. Either way, I've never seen it.
Sounds to me like a frogman in just different terms.
I've seen some big-ass toads in my backyard, but none of them have stood up and took off running yet.
Not yet.
And I'm just here to say I got cameras all around my house, and I hope I get that shit on it because they're good cameras.
They are really good cameras.
So I'm really hoping
one of them things watch you walking up that thing. I love it.
Look, I'm not picky. It can be a regular sized frog to get up on its hind legs and walk, and I'll be just as pleased.
Listen, I would sell that to the circus real quick.
I don't care.
I know a money-making opportunity when I see one.
I don't care if he pulls out his little 1-inch wand and starts shooting flames. I'm here for it.
It's not the size of the wand that counts. It's the sparks that come out.
Right, Jimmy?
It's the little wizard that could.
That's right. That's right. It's magic what you do.
So cute. It's almost like a thimble.
The location of the sightings doubt on its authenticity. Although I think they are just mad that perhaps Frogman is Jewish and he was just there trying to get himself right and ask, why don't people accept me?
What? They're being anti-Semitic.
They are. I was, so just loving that you guys embraced him. And then there you went.
Just because he's a Jew.
Just because he's a Jew.
Fucking rude.
We just can't let it go, can we?
This is where you want to be when Jesus comes back? That's what I gotta ask. It's not very Christian-like.
Well, they're Jewish.
Well, I know, but like Christians are supposed to be tolerant.
Gotcha.
Love thy neighbor.
Getting them all confused. The creature is only known from one specific region, and there is seemingly no Native American folklore of this creature. There's no video evidence that came from a suspicious encounter, and the creature seems to have unusual, perhaps supernatural abilities.
But remember when I was talking about Bigfoot, when they found out people were starting to tell the Bigfoot stories, they were like, hey, that's a us thing.
It's just like our us joke earlier.
Yeah, it's a us joke. This is not an everybody thing. You don't need it. Nobody else need to be knowing about this frog that's walking around, y'all.
This is not a public record.
Of course they're going to come up like, you seen this frog? No. What? They're crazy.
Never heard of it. We have no legends
You shouldn't
of it.
look. This is probably just like a trick of the eye,
Yeah. Little boozing at 3:30, pull over to take a piss on the side of the road. Think you see 3 dancing frogs.
How you white people do.
Exactly. And so now, what could it really be? And also, what do the haters have to say? Well, there are no known bipedal frogs in nature. It is also possible that these frog species often rest in a position with only their hind legs on the ground, making them look bipedal. It is very unlikely for a frog species to have the intelligence necessary for tool use, but somewhat more likely that the Loveland frogland are a frog species intelligent enough to collect objects, possibly to create a structure to live in or a mating display similar to some bird species. That sounds like the most, maybe one is smart enough to hold a stick bullshit I've ever heard.
I was just trying to think, mice do be taking things to make their little nest, but I don't know if they wearing capes and shit or nothing. Like walking around on 2 feet,
And I'm just
jumping over things and shit and being 3 foot tall.
And I'm just here to say that if y'all can believe in Taco Man, I can believe in a walking frog with a wand.
You damn right. I'll be damned if you can sit here and take
Pretty
my
much the
magic
same
frog.
thing, if you ask me.
Not today. Not my magic frog.
Not my magic frog, motherfuckers.
Abracadabra, bitch.
University of Cincinnati folklore professor Edgar Slotkin compared the Loveland Frog to Paul Bunyan, saying the stories about it had been passed down for several decades, and the sightings reports seem to come in predictable cycles. But if you choose...
I was like, Paul Bunyan, does he also have an ox? Does he have an axe? Like, is he huge?
No. It's a little tiny frog with the magic wand. But here's the thing. If you choose to believe and you choose to be a fun parent and you live in the Cincinnati area, then I highly suggest you check out The Legend of Loveland Frog Man Summer Camp.
Can we go? Can adults go to this summer camp?
Oh, just wait, it gets better. According to the website, after Frogman made his appearance to humans and was very unwelcomed, and his almost murder, Frogman tended to avoid humans after that.
One would.
He hid out in the woods in the wilderness south of Loveland. Listen,
made that man homeless and live out in the woods because of the
they did the same thing to Bigfoot.
Fucking trifling.
Yes.
Making people homeless like that. This is what's America's problem.
It is. He chose to hang out near where the Boy Scouts had established a summer camp.
Now that don't sound good.
There he could pilfer the odd snacks from the dining hall, listen to the songs sung around the campfire.
See, that's where having a true crime podcast is not good, because when you're like, near your little boys, it's like, oh, that's not a good sign.
It was
you're
great
like
for him.
pilfering food. Oh, well, that makes sense now.
Listening to them sing songs around the campfire.
Yeah.
Swimming in Lake
As long
March.
as he's keeping those web fingers to himself.
Exactly. And he was. He's a good cryptid.
Respectful.
He is. And he believes in body autonomy and being able to make your own decisions about your body. That he doesn't make them for you.
That first thing in his name is love. Okay.
That's right. Spread the word.
Spread the word. We're starting a cult.
So, that was his life for a while. He just hung back, got him some snacks, watched the happy kids sing, wishing that
Live,
he
laugh,
could
love,
be.
got his groove back.
Well, not quite. He still wasn't welcome.
No.
He just wanted to be a part of something.
Yeah.
So, you know what he did?
What do you do?
One night in 2020,
Oh!
when strange lights dotted from the sky above the camp, a metal disc made its way down to the lake. It bore others similar to him. They were not frogs, but they were small and green. They took him up in their saucer, and Frogman hoped he could find a new home among the visitors with whom he bore more resemblance than the hairy mammals of Loveland.
Oh, I love a happy ending. This is like E.T. all over again.
Right?
E.T. phone home, love land, go home.
Frogman lived among the visitors for years with their advanced technology and alien society, but he found it to be a new kind of loneliness. They did not exhibit the same virtues he saw amongst the campers that he watched. Their trustworthiness, their loyalty, their friendliness and bravery. And he missed the biscuits and gravy from the dining hall.
I love both of us. S'mores, the gravy.
With the blessing of the alien visitors, Frogman borrowed a flying saucer. He was a little nervous as he'd never got his flying saucer license. But he set off to return to the familiar confines of Camp Friedlander. His inexperience led him to crash down in a row of trees near the camp in 2024.
Very unlike a saucer. They love a wheat field or a cornfield.
They do. But remember, he didn't have his flying saucer license. Yeah.
He didn't know that you need to look for the gentle wheat.
The gentle swaying wheat in the breeze.
Not the pine trees.
Not the pine trees, bro.
That shit will fuck you up.
They are sturdy.
Burry.
Frogman hopes to learn from the scouts skills that he can use to repair the craft and return it to his rightful owners. And now, for Camp 2025, the Frogman returns, observing, waiting, learning. Will you spot the signs of his presence? And I wish there would have been a camp like that for my boys when they were little, because honestly, how fun.
Oh my God. I would have lived for that.
So if you have more interest in learning about the Frogman, check out James Renner's science fiction mystery novel, The Man from Primrose Lane, features a version of the Loveland Frog. In May 2014, the Loveland Frog legend was made into a musical
Oh my God.
titled Hot Damn, It's the Loveland Frog. The musical premiered at the Art Academy of Cincinnati during the 2014 Cincinnati Fringe Festival. In 2023, a horror found footage film directed by Anthony Cousins, Frogman, was released.
Oh shit, now I have to watch that.
And my friends, that is the story and the legend of the Loveland Frog.
I fucking love that.
Oh, that one was shorter. I thought it would be longer.
I think I was just so enthralled.
I know.
Flying saucers. You brought out like you were reading, so you couldn't see my face, but I was doing some jaw dropping. Like, what? Where are we going now? And the motherfucker going to camp. He's learning how to do knots with Boy Scouts and shit like that. And then he gets out flying saucers and shit. He going across the world. I hope he brought us towel like Hitchhiker's Guide. I mean,
they
it's
have
impressive.
An annual marathon. He is the on the shirts, and it's the Frogman race. He is the town's mascot.
This isn't. Where's Loveland? Outside Cincinnati?
Loveland is the city in Ohio. Where it's at in relation to Cincinnati, I don't know. But when we go to Columbus, Ohio, to the zoo, that we want to go up there, we can make a little swing by Loveland.
Because Jimmy's job, that's where they're based in Cleveland, in Ohio. And I was like, where is Loveland? Maybe I'll just take a little ride along, Pooh, and see if I can find this frog, and we can be buddies, okay?
Right?
Get your magic wand out. I need to see this. I need to try it. Let me touch it. Let me touch it.
Too bad you don't say that to Jimmy.
I know. He would be so excited. Let me touch it. Let me touch it.
Could you imagine?
Does it shoot sparks?
It does.
That boy does it.
If you begged him to let you touch it. First of all, there'd be no begging.
He'd probably be worried, though. But like, why? Are you going to cut it off?
She'd be like, can I touch? He's like, it. And you're like, no, I was going to say the new blanket we got. Can I touch the new blanket? Sir, stop.
Put it away. God, every time I turn around.
So that was a little bit of funness to get out of the dark and gloom that we bring sometimes. A little humor.
Oh, yeah. We need that from time to time. I'm thankful for it because I will get into too deep, dark subjects. So
that's, I explained to JJ yin and yang.
Gotta have that.
Yeah. You have to have some darkness in your life.
Right. And then you have to have that light, that Becky light that comes in almost like Jesus. So saint-like.
That's right.
Every time she comes in the room.
Jimmy. Girl, you echoed that voice. You threw your voice. Love it.
Every time you walk in the room, that's the noise I hear.
First of all, stop it.
Well, until next time, guys, don't forget to find us on our socials or TikTok. If you are tired, and boy, I'm tired. We're all tired. We're tired, America. This is bullshit. Okay?
Got the drummels.
But we do have W Energy Drinks, who is one of our sponsors. Don't forget to visit them at w.gg using code TCTH to get 10% off your order. And it's just good, clean energy. Help you get through your fucking day and trudge through this thing we call life.
Poof. It's rough.
It's
rough out there.
Hell of a wolf, okay? Don't forget to like and subscribe anywhere you listen. And until next time, stay safe.
Stay safe.
Keep your head on a swivel.
And don't bring it too close to home.
That it wasn't me this time. It wasn't me this time. I finally did it. I did it.
Unless you're bringing Frogman with his wand over. And then bring it so close to home that you're inside of my home. So we can play.
Bring that wand inside here.
Yes. Frogman. Not JJ.
Not JJ. Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode of Too Close to Home, don't forget to rate and subscribe to us on most platforms. Follow us on our social media at Too Close Home Pod on Facebook, at Too Close Podcast on Instagram, or if you have your own Too Close to Home experience, shoot us your story at tooclosetohome@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening.